Women of Reddit in their 40s and 50s, what's the biggest suggestion you would give to women dating in their 20s? Story 1. Do not ever, under any circumstances, believe that you will never be able to meet someone who can treat you better than whatever shitty dudes you've been crying over. Trust me, you will. Get tested regularly for STIs if you're sexually active. Do not ever expect any relationship to be picture perfect. Work is always involved. There just won't be as much of it with the right person. You do not have to live up to anyone else's expectations except your own. Pressure from others is super dumb. You don't owe your parents' grandchildren, nor do you owe your future spouse your purity or whatever. Looks fade eventually. Find a partner that you love for their personality and values. Make sure you're physically attracted to them as well, but just don't make it all about that. It's totally okay to be single. It really is. Story 2. Set a simple boundary and see what they do about it. If they ignore it or make a big deal about it, then move on. Don't mix money. Keep your bills separate. My ex removed me as an account holder on my phone and had it disconnected despite the court order and refused to pay the gas bill for his house when I didn't live there anymore. Don't make decisions based on your relationship. Need to move to a different city for a job? Do it. Need to travel and he is a homebody? Go on your own or with a friend. Live your life. Story 3. Focus on your own goals and your financial independence as much as you possibly can. Don't move in with him to save on rent. Don't move for him or put him through school. Don't give up your career for him. Don't do his chores and emotional labor for him. Don't have his baby without some kind of fair and equitable plan in place for how you will equally share your parenting expenses and responsibilities. Don't compromise on your sexual or emotional boundaries for him. You've been indoctrinated for your entire life with all kinds of self-limiting and self-destructive patriarchal ideas that will not serve you. Many of them are not even conscious, for you or for him. You'll feel guilty without really understanding why, and work harder to please him, and he'll encourage you to feel guilty, to offload as much of his social, parental, financial and domestic responsibilities onto your shoulders as he possibly can, probably also without understanding why. Ultimately, this dynamic will lead to burnout, resentment and heartbreak for both of you. Never become dependent on a man, and never let a man become dependent on you. Story 4. You can't change the fundamentals. If he's not affectionate, he will never be affectionate. If he is quick to anger, this will most likely not change. Find someone who is kind, loves animals, who treats the women in his life well and with love and respect. Men with traditional values will never see you as an equal. You will be their servant, nanny, and you will be expected to give them sex whenever he wants. Find out their views on kids, money, and all the big things before you get married or enter into a serious relationship. Mama's boys should be avoided like the plague. Story 5. While being lonely sucks, singledom is what you make it. Having a partner should add to the enjoyment of your life, not be constant work. Don't stay in a relationship just because you are afraid of being single. If your partner criticizes how you dress, how you cook, whether or not you wear makeup, what you like to do with your free time, who your friends are, how you spend your money, etc., your partner is wrong. If they can't see that and stop criticizing these things, then leave them. Being single is better. Likewise for partners who tear you down in front of others. If your partner sexually assaults you or nags you into doing sexual activities that you have already said you're not interested in, they're sexually abusive and you should leave them. Being single is better. If spending time with your partner often leaves you feeling exhausted, and not in a good way, or demoralized or frustrated, it's not working, leave them. Being single is better. If your partner expects you to constantly clean up after them in their house, your house, or even in their social life, leave them. Adjusted appropriately to accommodate disabilities, all adults should both know how to clean up after themselves and should be responsible and accountable for a fair share of the housework. Good partners are absolutely one of the best things in life. There's nothing like knowing that you have a special someone who knows you and loves you for who you are, and who helps make your life better. All relationships need work and maintenance, but it is the responsibility of both members of each couple to ensure that they do their fair share of that work and maintenance. Both members of any couple should be willing to compromise, and both members should be willing to make small sacrifices when necessary. A good partner supports you to be the best version of yourself, as you support them to be the best version of themselves. A good partner will celebrate your wins and praise you to others. You should want to spend time together. You should feel proud of them and be excited to introduce them to other people you love. You should both be aware of each other's strengths and weaknesses and have strategies for leveraging your combined strengths and mitigating those weaknesses. Arguments will happen, but most important is how you argue. Good partners will listen to each other's perspective respectfully and attempt to come to a decision that is acceptable to both parties. Good partners will do things for each other just because they like to make the other smile. Good partners collaborate on building a life together. Being in a good relationship is one of life's joys. Being single and free is another. Do not stay in shitty relationships where the other person is abusive, controlling, lazy, or otherwise not great. Life is too short to waste on people who bring us more aggravation than pleasure.